That's my best note, so good afternoon. Welcome everybody on this marvelous Mother's Day. Are there a lot of mothers here? Yes, there are. Great. It's a great way to spend your holiday with Frank Sinatra. Unfortunately, he's not here. It's just me. Welcome to my obsession, my passion, my love, Frank Sinatra, and hopefully yours also. My name is just Carrie Hoffman. It's Carrie Hoffman. I'm just another guy in a tuxedo. That's all. I can imagine what's going through your minds right now, listening to the sound of my voice. You're probably saying to yourselves, that voice, it sounds so much like Carrie Hoffman. It is me. I swear to God, this is not an impersonation. If it was an impersonation, I'd be doing the Goldberg wedding this afternoon in Great Neck. Is Goldberg still getting married? They didn't call me. No, this is just kind of a vocal neuroses, if you will. It's just what happens. Whenever I open up my mouth to sing Sinatra's incredible music, that sound pops out. Why did it happen to me? Why not this guy? Or this guy? Why me? A Medicare recipient who looks like a rabbi. It started when I was a kid, right over here, right in my head, I think. And then it went to my heart, and it somehow wound up here. A Victor phonograph. Wow. And I was no longer alone. That voice wrapped its arms around me and refused to let go. Didn't even ask for permission. I never heard a sound like that, the sound of Frank Sinatra's voice. I loved it so much that I would put my ear right up against the speaker. I did not want to miss a drop. And he was singing to me. He was singing about things that I knew nothing about. Something called love. Didn't make a difference. All I knew was that I wanted to sing just like that. It was just one of those things, just one of those crazy flings, one of those bells that now and then ring, just one of those things. Well, I had a father and mother, like a lot of people. There they are right now, Louie and Molly. Louie was a charming, charismatic, kind of a loose cannon ladies' man. That really thrilled my mother. Loose cannon. It was rumored that my father, Louie, drove a getaway car from a bank robbery. My kind of guy. You know what Louie did for a living? He was a lock slicer in a deli. A lock slicer. To Jews, that's a professional man. Better than an internist. My mother, Molly, she was a very vulnerable, beautiful, dark-haired beauty. Yeah, it was a normal Jewish family living in Brooklyn. There's an oxymoron. My father used to do something for me that nobody else wanted to do in the family. He would take me to the beach every Sunday during the summer in Coney Island. My mother said, no, don't take him to the beach. The beach is too dirty. My mother said everything was too dirty. And one day, I came home, and they told me that Louie was gone. Gone. He went into the service. And days later in school, there was a "What does your daddy do" day. And I stood up really proud, and I said, my daddy Louie, he's in the Army. And all of a sudden, this chirpy little girl, 2 rows in front of me, stands up and yells out to the whole class, his father's not in the Army. His father died in a car crash with his grandmother last summer. What? What? I ran home to my mother. Is it true? Is my daddy dead? I heard about it in school. Why didn't you ever tell me? The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song and we strolled the golden sand. Two buddies and the summer wind, like painted kites, those days and nights they went wandering by. The world was new beneath a blue umbrella sky, but softer than a piper man, one day he called to you. I lost you to the summer wind. The autumn wind and the winter wind, they have come and gone, but still those days, those summer days, they go on and on. But guess who sighs his lullaby for nights that never end? My fickle friend, the summer wind. Warm summer wind, summer wind. Well, you can imagine how my mother Molly was after that horrible car crash. She lost everything that she loved in one split second. She lost her mother and she lost her husband. There was no money at all. My mother didn't know what to do with us, so she decided to accept the generous offer of my 3 musician uncles, Uncle Charlie, Uncle Joey, and me. They were studio musicians in the early 1950s, which meant that they played for the best of the best. They were the best of the best. They played on the records of people like Ella Fitzgerald, Peggy Lee, Mel Torme, and my future Lord and Master, Frank Sinatra. We moved in with them. Nobody told us that musicians, to be that good, had to practice their instruments every minute of every hour of every day. Oh my God, what a crazy household it was. Like a mad, mad symphony of uncles, starring my Uncle Charlie. There he is practicing flute in the bedroom, in his underwear and socks. There's my Uncle Jaime practicing his trumpet in the bathroom, in just his socks. And there's my favorite, my Uncle Joe, practicing the trombone in the living room while he read The Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire. He was the family intellectual. Every Jewish family has one. He also, for some reason, could not stop eating my mother's stuffed cabbage. So as he practiced his trombone, the higher he went on the notes, he would invariably make a bonus note. This is the sound that I grew up with. And my mother was practicing her instrument, her screaming, screaming voice, which she used in the service of her new obsession, cleaning the house. Who left the milk out? Whose pants are on the dining room table? Whose socks on top of the grapefruit? Carrie, I need your help. Maybe you haven't heard, I have no husband. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you. That's what I was doing in my bedroom. For some reason, I was trying to make Sinatra's voice my voice. I knew I could do it if I just listened to him and practiced. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you. Oh my God, that sounds like Eddie Fisher. Let me try it again. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen. Ugh, that sounds even worse. It sounds like me. Who wants to sound like me? Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. Oh, that voice, that incredible voice, so personal, so himself. He knew exactly who he was. I spent a lot of time in my bedroom singing along with Frank to get it right. Maybe too long, 25 years. Yeah. One day I got really hungry. I went downstairs and asked her mother for lunch. She looked up and said to me, "Carrie, you are not Frank Sinatra. You will never be Frank Sinatra. Clean your room." She would have never asked Sinatra to clean his room. If you're young at heart, you can go to extremes with impossible. You can laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams. But life gets more exciting with each passing day. Love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you derive out of being alive. Now here's the best part. You have a head start if you are among the very young at heart. So where did this crazy dream of mine get started? Remember my Uncle Joe, the guy who loved the stuffed cabbage? One day he comes barging into my bedroom and he says to me, "Carrie, was that you singing?" "Yeah." "Carrie, you have a beautiful voice. You're going to be a star just like the guy I played for yesterday, Frank Sinatra." That's where it all began. He injected me with a dream right in my bedroom. You know, most dreams start in our bedroom. They do. Some dreams end in our bedroom. I didn't mean you, sir. I have no idea if that's true. Once I knew that I could sing like Frank Sinatra, there was no need for that kid, Frank Sinatra. He was everything I wanted to be. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. I got a song that I sing, I could make the rain go anytime I move my finger. Lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? Life's a beautiful thing, as long as I hold the string. I'd feel silly so and so if I should ever let it go. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around my finger. What a world, what a life. I'm in love. I'm in love. Well, everything was going to go great for me, right? Life was going to be fantastic. I had the world in a string. What about the other guy, Frank Sinatra? He was doing 6 shows a day at the Paramount Theater. He was doing 2 shows a night at the fabulous Copacabana. And one night, November 1952, he strolls out on stage with his arms stretched and he starts to sing. I didn't know what time it was, then I met blood. Blood came out of his mouth. His throat hemorrhaged. Yes, it hemorrhaged. He was singing too much. He was smoking too much. He was drinking too much, and possibly Ava Gardnering too much. It all caught up in that night. He was left with no more voice and no more career. About the same time, my mother comes to me, Molly, and she says to me, Carrie, I think it's time that you had a brand new father. Really, why? Because, Carrie, you're a boy, and boys need fathers. And then she said that she was dating somebody really special who she wanted to bring home to meet me. His name was Cy Hoffman. Saturday afternoon, I look outside the window, and the biggest, fattest, most puffed-up Oldsmobile pulls in the driveway. And out of the driver's side steps the coolest-looking guy I ever saw. He had a Sinatra fedora on his head. He had a permanent wise-ass grin on his face. And he had an old gold cigarette dangling from his lips, and the most incredible black sharkskin suit you ever saw. Slams the door shut to the Oldsmobile, cocks his head to one side like it had no support, puts his hands in his pocket, and slowly starts to walk towards the house. I swear to God, I know he doesn't, but to me he looked exactly like Frank Sinatra. Why the hell would Sinatra be coming to my house? Did I do something wrong? All right, if the truth be known, when I was growing up, I thought that a lot of people looked like Frank Sinatra. Remember my uncle, the trumpet player, Jaime? Yeah, he was balding, but there was something in the nose. And my mother, in a certain light in the kitchen. So Cy comes in the house, and my mother says, Cy, I'd like to introduce you to my son, Carrie. And Cy looks at me and says, hey, kid. Takes the cigarette out of his mouth, reaches out with his right hand, and unhinges the velvet rope that led him to the living room. He was the first human being to ever walk in the living room. I always wanted to know what that would feel like. Walks across the gold carpet, past the gold couch, to the beautiful gold curtains, and right near the gold minibar. My family were early Jewish prospectors with all that gold. Guess what he did next? He poured himself Sinatra's liquor. He poured himself a Jack Daniels. Can you believe this? I had my own Sinatra at home. And the time it took for Cy to consume an entire case of Jack Daniels, guess what he did? He married my mother. I had a brand new dad. I could run out to the kids playing baseball and say, come on, guys, could you pick me? I got a dad just like you. Next time you're found with your chin on the ground, there's a lot to be learned, so look around. Everyone sing along. 'Cause I had high hopes, I had high hopes, I had high apple pie in the sky. Hopes. Yeah. Howdy Doody had high hopes to be Sinatra. Look at that kid. Oh my God. I may have had high hopes, but Frank Sinatra couldn't sing anymore. He had no voice. Can you imagine how depressed that made him? He was incredibly depressed. So depressed that he could have joined my family. There was a seat for him in Passover. Was he going to lie down and die? Not Sinatra. He was going to invent a completely brand new voice. He was going to take all the pain and suffering that he went through losing his voice, and he put it in a round ball, and he put it right into his throat to create a brand new voice. He also was going to take the character that most singers leave off stage, like Bing Crosby, and bring the character on stage with him, make it a part of him. If Frank Sinatra was happy, he would sing happy. If Sinatra was sad, the whole world could cry. And if Frank Sinatra was in love, which happened occasionally, he would sing love like nobody ever sang it before. You make me feel so young. You make me feel like spring is sprung. And every time I see you grin, I'm such a happy individual the moment that you speak. I want to go play hide and seek. I want to go and bounce the moon just like a toy balloon. You and I, we're just like a couple of tots running across the meadow, picking up all those forget-me-nots. You make me young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fling to be flung. And even when I'm old and gray, I'm gonna feel the way I do today. 'Cause you make me feel so, oh how I feel so. You make me feel so young, so young. While Frank Sinatra was busy reinventing a brand new voice, where was I, Carrie Hoffman? I was getting bar mitzvahed in the Kew Garden Hills Jewish Center. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'v'Moshe avdo. Oh my God, it was my first professional paid booking. I made $1,250 in cash and bonds. Today the bonds are worth crap. Oh my God, I was a hit at my own bar mitzvah. I got the only standing ovation that any kid ever received in the entire history of the Kew Garden Hills Jewish Temple. They wouldn't sit down. They were screaming and yelling. I got the feeling I'd wind up playing every synagogue in the country, opening up for Dean, Sammy, the Torah. And then the rabbi, he keeps leaning over to me and he keeps whispering and pushing and telling everyone to sit down. Caddy, stop crooning. Stop crooning. Didn't he know? Crooning is my real religion. Baruch, baby Torah. Baruch, baby Torah. You're my Torah, you're my baby, I want you, baby Torah, shalom. And then the rabbi comes over to me and he says at the end of the thing, Gadi, congratulations, today you are a man. A man? Who gave a shit? I wanted to be a star. I knew it then. Okay, all right. I don't mean to be putting down the Jewish religion. It is a really great religion, and I really think it's going to do well. But to a 13-year-old kid who wanted to croon like Sinatra, what was a bar mitzvah? It was just a coming out party, my first public debut, singing in public for paid customers, like my mother and family and my aunts and uncles. And also a bar mitzvah. The Jewish God, the Hebrew God. Wouldn't you say it's a little bit too abstract for a 13-year-old boy? The Hebrew God, where was he? What did he look like? What kind of songs did he sing? My father later explained to me the significance of a bar mitzvah. He said I would understand it years later. He said a bar mitzvah is the first time that a 13-year-old Jewish boy gets the opportunity to learn the principles of starting his own hedge fund. Anyway, we are back with Mr. Sinatra. The most fabulous comeback of all time, with that brand new voice, an Academy Award from here to eternity. He was getting hit after hit record. He was king of the world again. But Mr. Sinatra was a complex individual. He always had a dark side. This time the dark side was two words, Ava Gardner. She was tougher than him. like boiling water. I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart, you're really a part of me. I've got you under my skin. Wow. I tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair never would go so well. But why should I try to resist when, baby, I know so well I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near. In spite of war and force comes in the night, never peace in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. Use that mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin, under my skin. If Frank Sinatra was singing that song with Ava Gardner in mind, I heard it a little differently. Sinatra was under my skin forever. Life was just Sinatra. Nothing else existed or mattered. That's it. You know how teenagers are supposed to go through a period of rebellion? Sinatra became my rebellion. I don't want to be a typical split-level kid from Long Island. And by the way, I was a good kid. Really. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. Occasionally, I would sneak a small piece of bacon. Just wanted to know, how do you make that sound with your voice? Okay, there's my house. That's the house I was raised in Westbury, Long Island, 17 Marshall Lane. That's my room, the penthouse above the garage. You could just make me out, Carrie, really, really crazy in that bedroom. But quietly crazy, not the kind of crazy where the cops would come. You know, this is Carrie BP before Prozac. I'm on Prozac now, so just to take the edge off, that's all. I'd be up there for hours. By the way, that house was one of 141 homes. They all looked exactly the same in that development. It was rumored that one night a guy went home to the wrong house and he lived there for 10 years. I'd be up in that bedroom just trying to figure out what was the secret to singing like Sinatra. Was it his attitude? Was it the eyes? Was it the voice? No. Here's the secret to singing like Sinatra. Are you ready? Here it is right now. It's the finger snap. I swear to God, that's how crazy I was. I thought it was a snap. You can't hear me well because when I snap, I'm not Italian. So I don't make that hard snap. Are there any snaps? Are there any Italians here? Let me hear you snap. Fucking thunderous. What is it, the olive oil? The prosciutto, what is it? The Jews get chicken fat and it makes a dull sound. Ugh. I actually thought that if I could snap like Sinatra, look at the difference. Look how cool I look snapping. Yeah. And by the way, I still think that now. If I could snap like Sinatra, right? Maybe it would travel up to my throat. And I could sing like Sinatra. And if I could sing like Sinatra, maybe I could get laid just once. I think that now, by the way. Would you like to have a drink with me outside after? Take him along, that's okay. No? No. How about now? It always works. I'd be up in that bedroom, snapping away, trying to figure out the key to Sinatra. The first snap was the girls want me real bad snap. Notice the minimal movement in the wrist. You do shit, they come to you. And you never stop snapping. You keep that snapping all through your body. It's a whole attitude thing. Watch what happens if I should stop snapping. Okay? You keep that snap going. All right, the other part of Sinatra that I love to emulate. Frank Sinatra was truly a bona fide tough guy. A little bit dangerous. How could you sing those incredible songs? I mean, so I call this the don't mess with me snap. This is the tough guy. You get in the way of that forearm and he'll knock your block off. I wanted to be a tough guy so much. Man, sometimes I think that if Humphrey Bogart could have sang, we wouldn't have needed Sinatra. Tough guy, yeah. Sinatra was once in a restaurant in Hollywood. He looks across the room and he sees a newspaper writer that's really writing bad shit about him. He's calling Frank Sinatra a mafia communist womanizer. Mafia communist womanizer. What's the problem? He was a multitasker. Sinatra gets up, just walks over, bam! Guy goes right down. So what if Sinatra hit the guy in the back of the head? The guy deserved to go down. Man, there were loads of people in high school who I wanted to punch out, like that fucking gym teacher, Schmidt. You look just like Schmidt, the gym teacher. Jewish guys cannot run. We can't catch, we can't bat, we can't hit. I was sick and tired of holding those fucking ropes also in gym. Those ropes, holding them straight while the Italian guys zipped up and down. And I had their water for them when they got down. Here, Tony, here's your water. Those ropes, man. I wanted to be a tough guy, like Sinatra. What happens if I was a tough guy in high school? A kid would push me in the hallway, and I'd say, come on, pal, put your hands on me one more time again. You lay your hand on me one more time again, and I swear to God, I'll sing night and day. Tough guy, right? Tough guy. Now, do you remember this other snap? Do you remember how great he looked on the album of Pal Joey? He was facing sideways with that back rail straight. And those eyes focused right at you, the raincoat over the shoulder, the hat. If I have a raincoat over my shoulder, I'm just a wet Jewish guy, that's all. And that snap, the I don't give a shit snap. That's what I feel this is. And he didn't give a shit. He did whatever he wanted to do. Whatever he wanted to do. If you look up the word confidence in a dictionary, it says C. Sinatra. Confidence. That's what I wanted to have. Not to give a shit. I don't give a shit. If you notice, I can't even stand straight like Sinatra. I have a curvature of the upper back. You know why? It's from being brought up in a suburban household and being told for 20 years, eat over the sink. The sink and the ropes destroyed my life. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit that all my friends were weird. Or that I tried to get a date and I used to stutter on the phone so I couldn't get a date. And I tried out for the baseball team, the basketball team, the football team, the volleyball team. You know what they made me? Captain of the hall monitors. Captain. I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Sinatra didn't give a shit. He started a brand new record company. He put out his first album. A friend called him up and said, hey, Frank, I just heard your latest album. It's not so hot. Oh, yeah? Fuck you. Someone says to me, hey, Carrie, I heard you singing in the men's room in high school. Not so hot. Oh, yeah? Fuck me. I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. All right. I think I should be honest with you people. All those I don't give a shit snaps, everything that I was doing in my bedroom, all those snaps, it was really to cover up what I was really doing in my bedroom. What do teenagers do for untold hours, right? It's this guy says, oh yeah, he's got a lot of experience. I mean, come on, it's a natural thing to do. Do you know how hard it is to do the I don't give a shit snap and that at the same time? While you're singing along with Fly Me to the Moon? The teacher in high school says, Carrie, stand up. Carrie, tell the whole class the name of the city in Mexico where the Mexican Revolution started. It happened in Monterey a long time ago. My mother's yelling, Carrie, when are you going to finish washing the dishes? Give me 5 minutes more, only 5 minutes more. My new dad, Cy Hoffman, remember the guy with the Sinatra fedora hat? He comes home. He was an insurance broker on Wall Street. He did not have a clue what was going on with me. Not that I did. He said to me, Carrie, what'd you do today? Did you study for your college SAT test? I don't need college, I'm gonna be Sinatra. Carrie, did you call your guidance counselor? Did you finish the book report? Carrie, what's gonna happen to your life? Let's take it nice and easy. It's gonna be so easy. I got so crazy that I stopped talking altogether. Hey, Mom, can I have pot roast tonight? Can I borrow the car Saturday night? Yeah. Get out of my room, don't you bother me. Sinatra's the guy I'm gonna be. I just knew it. I didn't have a doubt in the world I was going to be Sinatra. All I had to do was have patience and wait. Wait for my spotlight. You can't become a star unless you have a spotlight. Everybody knows that. You know how hard it is to spot my spotlight in a split-level house? Most of the time I was downstairs in the den in the basement. By the time the spotlight went through the 150 levels of a split-level house, I never saw it. But I'm snapping, feeling really good, singing and snapping. And my mother's saying, Carrie, would you please stop it already? Would you try somebody else? Try Andy Williams. Andy Williams, a sweater that sang. But I'm snapping, singing, feeling really good. And my new dad, Cy, he's pouring himself 1 Jack Daniels. And I'm singing and snapping. And all of a sudden, Cy says to me, Carrie, I really think it's fantastic what you're doing in your bedroom. Did he know what I was doing in my bed? Oh my God. No. I think all the time you're spending in your bedroom trying to be like Frank Sinatra, trying to sing like him, trying to transcend the pain and the angst of being a teenager who lost his father by assuming Sinatra's identity and voice and sing. No, he never said that. This is what he really said. Carrie, I've been thinking about you. Carrie, did you know everything you touch turns to shit? No, I did not know that. There were times that I suspected it, but he gave me definite confirmation. This was really weird. He was saying that, and my Uncle Joe was telling me that I could be the next Sinatra. You're gonna be Sinatra. Everything you touch turns to shit. You're gonna be Sinatra. Everything you touch, you're gonna be Sinatra. Everything you touch, everything you touch, shit, you're gonna be shit. Shit does sound better sung, doesn't it? There was no doubt I was a dysfunctional teenager. While all my friends were out on the baseball diamond trying to learn to swing a bat like Mickey Mantle, I was in my bedroom listening to Sinatra's newest album, Come Fly With Me. It was fantastic. And reading articles about the negative effects of saturated fat on the human body. I was the youngest kid in Long Island who knew his own cholesterol level. 178. Not bad with all those latkes and liver and onions. Size over there, he's having a 3rd Jack Daniels. Some nights a 4th Jack Daniels. He had these sores in the sides of his legs from diabetes. He was wearing this white bathrobe. I can still remember. He gets up from the bar. He wobbles across the gold carpet. He makes his way to the gold carpeted stairs. And he starts to ascend the stairs going up. And I can still hear my mother yelling out, Cy! Cy! He dropped dead. He dropped dead. He was 50 years old. 3 feet from the bed, cardiac arrest. Jack Daniels and diabetes, they're not a good mixer. And I was amazed, really amazed, how much I cared about him. It's 2:45. There's no one in the place except you and me. So set 'em up, Joe. I got a little story I think you should know. We're drinking, my friend, to the end of a brief episode. Make it one for my baby and one more for the road. You'd never know it, but buddy, I'm a kind of poet, and I got a lot of things to say. But when I'm gloomy, you just gotta listen to me until it's all talked away. So that's how it goes. And Joe, I know you're getting anxious to close. Thanks for the cheer. I hope you didn't mind my bending your ear. But this torch that I found, it's gotta be drowned, or it soon might explode. Make it one for my baby and one more for the road. That long, it's long, oh so long.
Ladies and gentlemen, the performance will...
Social director, the swimming instructor, everybody. They were all screwing the housewives. Yeah, everyone was going up and down, up and down, up and down. There was no tennis, there was no volleyball. This was the only sport. Everyone's going up and down, up and down. There was tsunami waves in the pool. Everyone was going up and down. Everyone was going up and down, except you know who. Mr. Showbiz, me. I was back in my room practicing the I don't give a shit snap and practicing on 2 and 4. I had no time for that stuff. So one day, the MC, my friend Bernie, who got me the job, he approaches me in the tennis court and he says, Carrie, I saw you sing last night on stage. Really, it's good, isn't it? Carrie, I have to fire you. Why? What did I do? Carrie, it's not what you did, it's what you didn't do. You're not sexy on stage, Carrie. You're like a Sinatra jukebox. What do you mean? He says, Carrie, you're like a tuxedo with a voice. There's nobody home. Oh my God. Well, what are you talking about? He says, Carrie, you're missing the essence of the man. Remember we were talking about the ability to make love in a song? What do you mean, the essence of the man? I have the tightest crotch in the Catskill Mountains. He says, it's not about that. You have to graduate. You have to make love to a real woman. That never even occurred to me. I mean, I had hundreds of fantastic playboys. Why should I make love to a real woman? Pardon me, miss, but I've never done this with a real live girl. Where can I find a girl? He said, aren't you the MC of the late night mambo contest? Pick a girl. So I did. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Shawanga Lodge Mambo contest is Marcia Rubenstein. So by the way, this is her real name. Her name is stuck in my head. I can't get it out. You know, one night the real Marcia Rubenstein could come here and I'll be dead. Let's hear it for Marcia Rubenstein. So Marcia comes up and oh my God. Oh, I couldn't tell from back there. Marcia was a hot little number. Wow, she was beautiful. Wow. I started to get that performance anxiety breathing again. It was obviously not limited to singing. And as I'm leaning over, putting the mambo crown on Marcia's head, Marcia takes her left hand and she puts her left hand underneath my tuxedo and down to my tushy. I don't know how she got it down there. The tailor really did a fantastic job. But Marcia knew what she was doing. And she leans over to me and she says, Carrie, you do have a beautiful voice. Oh my God. She wanted me. There was no way out of this. Yeah. So Marcia, Carrie Ross, and me, we got it on. Yep, that's Carrie Ross. Just in time. I found you just in time. Before you came, my time was running low. I'm getting better, aren't I? Oh, Mr. Italian. I was lost. Those losing dice were tossed. My bridges all were crossed. Nowhere to go. Now you're here. And now I know just where I'm going. No more doubt or fear. I found my way. 'Cause love came just in time. You found me just in time. You turned my lonely life. That lucky day. That lucky day. So the next morning, I have to walk back in the Shawanga Lodge for breakfast, right? It was my turn to do the famous Shawanga Lodge victory strut. I walked in for breakfast with my head held high and my crotch tight. Everybody knew it. They knew that I was just as good as the waiters, good as the busboy, good as the social director, good as the swimming instructor. Now, wait a second. Nobody was better than the swimming instructor. I had the best show of my life. I finally had figured out just what the hell it was that Sinatra had been singing about. Now you're here, and now I know just where I'm going. No more doubt or fear. I found my way. 'Cause love came just in time. You found me just in time. Turned my lonely life that lucky day.
Phone call for Carrie Ross. Phone call.
Who's Carrie
for
Ross? Oh, that's me. Oh, yeah, that's me. Yeah, this is Carrie Ross. Who's calling? I can't hear you, man. Speak up a little bit louder. What? Hold on a second. I'll see if he's here. Hey, does anyone know if there's a Marcia's husband here? Did you say Marcia's husband? No, Marcia doesn't have any husband. No, I know. No, Marcia's all alone. She has nobody. Marcia has a husband. Wait a second. What the hell am I getting scared about? I am Sinatra. Hey, jealous lover, you're acting so strange. Hey, jealous lover, what is making you change? Big deal, Marcia's husband. Listen, pal, this goes on every day of the week in the Catskill Mountains. Why don't you grow up? What? Oh, you're a private detective? Oh, I'm really scared, Marcia's husband. Hey, Marcia's husband, I wanted to ask you something. Marcia, was Marcia as good for you as she was for me? No? What's going to happen to me? Tell me what's going to happen to me. No, I want to know. One night while I'm on stage singing my shitty Sinatra songs, thanks a lot, the last thing I'm going to hear is a gunshot? A gunshot. He really said that. Oh my God, this is crazy. This is real life. This isn't like a Sinatra movie. I can't believe it. Nobody ever wanted to kill me. Not that I knew about, at least. Oh my God, it was my first time. It was my only time. I finally felt just a little bit like Sinatra, and I was gonna die for it. I'm back in the hotel lobby, and all of a sudden I look out and I see this giant guy heading towards me. Oh my God, maybe it's Marsha's husband. Oh, wait a second, can't we talk about this? Look, there's been a big mistake. Listen, I had no idea that she was married. My name is Carrie Ross. I'm not even the regular MC. I'm just a late night MC. I'm just in the Catskill Mountains trying to train to be Frank Sinatra. Please, please don't hurt me. Carrie, my name is Sam Linksman. Who the hell is Marsha's husband? You're not Marsha's husband? Oh my God, thank God. Carrie, what's this all about? I'm the late night MC. I'm not even the regular MC. I really don't even like the Catskill Mountains. I'm up here just to train to try to be Frank Sinatra. So I made a mistake. I picked the wrong woman to have an affair with. I had sex with a married woman. Carrie, if you're in training to be Frank Sinatra, having sex with a married woman is a very good way to start. No, I don't care about that. I just care about singing. Carrie, you do have a beautiful voice. I heard you sing last night. Carrie, I think I want to manage you and make you a star. Nobody ever said that to me before. Oh my God, you can't become a star unless you have a manager. Okay, he was a little bit of a weird manager. He was 400 pounds, and he suffered from narcolepsy, which meant that he would fall asleep in the middle of any conversation. Carrie, I'm flying my friend, the owner of the biggest hotel in Las Vegas, in tomorrow night to see you. His name is... What's his name? What's your name? I'm Carrie Ross. What's the name of the guy? Who's Carrie Ross? You said you're gonna make me a star. Who's a star? I'm a star. You said you're gonna make me a star. That was it for me. I was finished with the Catskill Mountains. I'm going back to New York City to become the star that I was destined to be. Start spreading the news. Start spreading the news. No one's spreading the news. No one knew I was alive. Nobody gave a shit. Oh my God, it's my manager, Sam. Oh, Sam, you didn't forget about me. Oh my God, Sam, what? You got me a job? Sam, please don't send me back to the Catskills. You got me a job in a real nightclub. The kind of nightclub that Sinatra would have played. Oh, Sam, that's fantastic. What's the name of it? Sam, what's the name of it? It's called the Moulin Rouge. Oh, that's so sexy, Sam. I always wanted to go to Paris. It's not? Where is it? Staten Island? So Saturday night, I show up at Staten Island in the Moulin Rouge. Hi, my name is Carrie Ross, and I'm here to sing tonight. I'm the singer tonight. And my manager told me to ask for the owner, Joey. Where is he? Joey's backstage. He wants to greet me backstage. Why backstage? That's what he likes. Okay, so I make my way slowly backstage. It's very dark and very hot. And I look up, and all of a sudden in the darkness, I spot the owner, Joey. And right next to Joey is an even bigger guy, Tony. Something told me it was not a good idea to have a business meeting in the dark with two guys named Joey and Tony. Carrie, welcome to the fabulous Moulin Rouge. For some reason, everybody who tried to help my Sinatra career back then sounded like Clemenza from The Godfather. Carrie, we'd like to have an idea about your repertoire. My what? Oh, you mean my repertoire? Yeah, Carrie, that too. Carrie, how many Italian songs do you plan to be singing this evening? I don't know any Italian songs. They didn't tell me. Carrie, we need Italian songs. And all of a sudden, his partner, Tony, starts to sing, Al di là dei limiti del mondo ci sei tu, al di là dei limiti del mondo. And Joey says to me, Carrie, don't you even know Al di là? Al di là? I thought you said your partner's name was Tony. And then Joey says to me, Carrie, we need Italian songs. Those are our major demographics. I love when the mafia speaks marketing. And then he said something we've all heard in every gangster movie. Carrie, if you don't sing an Italian song, I'm afraid we're gonna have a really, really, really big problem.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, the Moulin Rouge is very proud to present old Jew Eyes himself, Terry Paisano Ross!
You call me those two Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight.
So I start to look out at the audience of the Moulin Rouge. Oh my God, this is a tough bunch of people. These are not like the Jews in the Catskill Mountains who love me with their bagels. These were not my uncles in the audience. These were Sinatra's uncles. And everywhere I look, there was gold chains, pompadours, and pinky rings. And those were just the women. That was it for me. At the end of that song, I bolted out of the back door at the Moulin Rouge, and I got in my car, and I started to go back to New York City. Oh, no, this is not for me anymore. Oh, no, this is the wrong life. No, I gotta find something else to do. This is never gonna work. And as I'm going over the bridge to get back to Manhattan, I go 70, 80 miles an hour, and then I start to turn on the radio, just like I used to do when I was a teenager. I gotta find something else. There must be some place out of here, said the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief, no relief, no relief. What the hell kind of music is that? Again, I'm totally out of sync with the music of the day. Rock and roll had won the music wars. There was a new kind of music, a new kind of art rock, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, and Bob Dylan. And me, I'm still singing this stuff. Oh my God. Sergeant Pepper had followed Cole Porter into a dark alley, and he stabbed him to death. What the hell am I doing? Still wanting to do this. And I'm still singing Sinatra music in Staten Island. Yeah, all the music that I loved, Cole Porter, the beautiful melodies, the rhymes, they were all washed away by rock and roll. And there was thousands of crooners like myself in black tuxedos, left all alone without work, snapping in the dark. That was it for me. I was finished with all that music. I get to my apartment, I find my treasured Sinatra albums, The Wee Small Hours, Songs for Young Lovers, and my 2 tuxedos, my uniform of cool, and I throw them all right into the garbage. I was finished with Frank Sinatra. He's finished. Why the hell should I try and be somebody who's finished? Stupid to try and be somebody else. Yes, Sam. Sam, I apologize for doing that. I know it was unprofessional. I really do, but I had a revelation on stage that it's not for me anymore. I just had to get out of there. What? Joey and Tony, they're after me? Look, I'm glad that someone's after me. You're not hearing me, Sam. This is the wrong dream. I gotta find another dream. What? No, I know. Sam, listen. I'll tell you what my mother said. And my mother was right. Yeah. I'm not Frank Sinatra. I will never be Frank Sinatra. There's only one Frank Sinatra, right? You're still not listening to me, Sam. You should have been there. You should have seen the people in the audience. They look like members of the Witness Protection Program. Say it again, Sam. Say it again slowly. I'm going to repeat it back to you. You have arranged an audition, a meeting for me in 1 hour with Frank Sinatra himself. Sam, don't fool around like that. That's not fair. That's a bad joke. You know how I feel about him. You don't know Frank Sinatra. How could you set up a meeting with him? What? You know him? Sam, you're a 400-pound guy from the Catskill Mountains. You have narcolepsy. You're not even certain when you're awake. You know, you grew up with Frank Sinatra in the old neighborhood? Sam, you're from Poland. I had to go. Show business is so crazy. So I ran down to Jilly's, and all of a sudden I spot Sam, his face, It was easy to spot Sam's face. His face alone weighed 200 pounds. I started to wave. He waved back at me, and then his eyes looked at me, and then his eyes went somewhere else. And I follow where his eyes go. It's Frank Sinatra. He's coming out of Chili's. How is that possible? How could Sam know Frank's? I really have a meeting with him. Oh my God, this is incredible. And I'm standing on the steps of Chili's. I can't believe it. How could Sam know him? And the big guys, they're all surrounding him. And then I still remember the first words that Frank Sinatra ever said to me. Get out of the fucking way, Clyde. I didn't have a meeting with Sinatra. My manager had lied. How unusual for a manager to lie. And then all the big guys surrounding Sinatra, they start to push me away, and I'm going away. And all of a sudden, Sam starts to push me back. And the big guys push me away. And Sam starts to push me back, and all of a sudden, before something bad could happen, Sam saves the day. He says to Mr. Sinatra, I'd like to introduce you, Mr. Sinatra, to a really talented young singer. His name is Carrie Ross. And just like that, Sinatra's tanned hand with a pinky ring came out of his suit, and he pushed the guys aside. And he stepped right up to me. 18 inches from me was everything I ever wanted in the world. Oh my God, he looked incredible. I never saw a better tan. He had two giant eyes that were almost too big for his head. And because I read so much about him, I knew that he had owned about 150 toupees. This was the best toupee of all. And then he started to speak to me. Carrie, how very nice to meet you. Carrie, can you tell me what kind of a singer you are? That's an easy question if I wasn't unconscious. The only thing I could think of saying was, you. I sing like you. And then he said, Carrie, that's really very nice. You can't sing like me. You have to sing like you. And then I tried to cover it up. I said, no, I don't mean to say that I sing like you. You sing like you. You sing like you all over the world. You sing like you in Hollywood. You sing like you you sing like you when you have lunch, when you have dinner. I sing like me. Singing as if I could sing like you, as you sing like yourself, singing like me, singing like you. All I wanted at that moment was one of his friends to have a shotgun right over there. And then I put the nail in the coffin. I said, Mr. Sinatra, we both sing like you. Oh, that really made him happy. And then he said to me, why don't we start all over? Carrie, just tell me, what kind of music, what kind of songs do you like to sing? That was easy. I love to sing the standards. I love to sing Cole Porter, George Gershwin. He said, that's exactly what I was hoping you'd say. Because as long as young singers like yourself sing the standards, the music that I love will never die. And then I remember the limousine pulled up and the big guy started to usher him back. And then he reached out to me and he said, Carrie, do you happen to have a demo? He wanted a demo after that conversation. I reached over to Sam to get the demo. Sam was asleep. I had to drag the demo out of his hand. I give the demo to Mr. S, as his friends called him. The limo pulled away in the night. He was gone. I never saw him again. The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, no, they can't take that away from me. The way your smile just beams, the way you sing off key, the way you haunt my dreams. No, no, they can't take that away from me. We may never, ever meet again on that bumpy road to love. Still I'll always, always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife,
the way you've changed my life. No, no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from me.
Well, that meeting that wasn't a meeting was over 30 years ago. I've done lots of things since then with my life. Two of the things I have not been able to do is listen to Frank Sinatra's records or try and sing like him. It just brought up too much turmoil inside of me. I did a lot of things. I wrote a hit off-Broadway musical, and then I went back for some more therapy. And then I became the owner of a fairly successful stand-up comedy nightclub, which is an interesting choice for a depressed Jew to do. And then I became one of the producers of a television show called Men of a Certain Age, starring Ray Romano. And it was on television for 2 years, and then the bastards canceled it, so I went back for therapy. Well, remember we were talking about that thing about how important it is, the essence of Frank Sinatra, making love in a song? It's true if you want to sing, but if you want to live, you have to learn how to make love in life. And that was the essence of the man. So I met a wonderful woman. Her name was Suzanne, and she possessed the one quality that no other woman in the entire world had. She liked me. And then that day came along that some of us know. May 14th, it's approaching, 1998. Frank Sinatra died. I could not believe it. I couldn't believe that he died. I thought that if anybody had a shot at not dying, it would be Sinatra with all those guys he knew. But he died, just like my two dads, my three uncles, my mother, Sam, and Suzanne. It happens to everybody. And then on the day he died, I got a strange phone call from a friend of mine who offered me his condolences. His condolences. I didn't even know Sinatra, except for that meeting. And then he offered to buy me dinner because he heard that there was a big band downtown recreating the music of Sinatra, and he wanted to take me. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be confronted with the sound of Sinatra brass. But as I said, he offered to buy me dinner, and he said I could order extra coleslaw. I like coleslaw. So I met him downtown in that jazz nightclub, and I could hear the sound of the Sinatra trumpets, the brass coming through, and it grabbed at me just like when I was a kid. Oh my God, and it was like my uncles were up there playing. Uncle Jaime, Uncle Joey, and Uncle Charlie. And then it turns out that I knew the band leader from the Catskill Mountains. And I looked on the floor, and wow, there was my spotlight. And then, at the age of 72, I'm back on stage singing Frank Sinatra music again.
Night and day, you are the one. Only you neath the moon or under the sun. Whether near to me or far, it makes no difference where you are. I think of you day and night, night and day. Why is it so that this longing for you follows wherever I go? In the roaring traffic's boom, in the silence of my lonely room, I think of you day and night.
So there I was again, back singing Sinatra music with a big band in my bedroom, but I was back in heaven in my bedroom. And I was singing with Sinatra, going around and around on the record. And he was singing with me, and I could see him smiling at me. This time I was singing his incredible music with no agenda. All I wanted to do was sing his music without gasping for air, in my own voice. I am not Frank Sinatra. I'm not Carrie Ross. I'm me, Carrie Hoffman. Night and day, under the high of me, there's an oh, such a hungry yearning inside of me, and its torment won't be through till you let me spend life making love to you day and night. Night and day. So if Frank Sinatra is here right now, there's only one question I'd love to ask him. Mr. Sinatra, did you like my demo? Thank you, folks. You've been a great audience. I'd like to introduce you to our musical director, Alex Nelson, also known as Tex Arnold. You folks have been a great audience. If you like the show, please sign our fan appreciation email outside. You'll be invited back if we ever have a chance to have the show reviewed again. But you've been a great audience. Go home and listen to the real guy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.